What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another mini-sode of TretoWithOutARadio. Yo, oh, now you know how we go with the illest flow. Coming from Chicago Cubs. No, so what's up, Renee from the other day? How you feeling?
What up, bro? You were really excited for that intro there, huh?
I was on a roll, bro. You can't stop, you know?
You can't stop a good thing.
Yeah, you can't stop the flow. No.
Hip-hop and it don't stop.
Yeah, there you go. Now, what's up, man? How you doing today? We're on mini-sode number 4. Can you believe it?
Bro, we've had 4 minisodes.
Man, that's crazy.
How many have you seen?
4. Nah, I remember our first mini-sode. I was all nervous,
bro. We were in the super basement. No.
Oh yeah, that's right. The wooden panels and everything.
Fucking wooden background and shit. Yeah. Now look at us.
Now look at us.
No,
where are we? No,
literally,
right? You know who else is moving up though?
Who?
Chicago Cubs, man. Did you hear the good news?
Well, what's the good news, bro?
Ooh, it's kind of bittersweet news, man.
Okay, well, okay. Let's start with what's the news and why is it bittersweet?
So the news is the Cubs are leaving WGN, their broadcasting
Chicago
network. Yeah.
And
they're starting their own network, their own streaming network for all their Cubs fucking games and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like bittersweet, you know. Like as a Cubs fan, WGN is like integrated with all your like history, you know.
Right. So because that's been the go-to place since like the 60s and shit.
Yeah. And now that they're changing, everyone's kind of going crazy because they're kind of like split between. Well, it's a good thing that they're like building their network and their brand.
Yeah.
But it sucks that they're losing a part of history. And Cubs fans, we're all about the history of shit.
Obviously, with a fucking over 100-year-old stadium and shit.
Hey man, no, you still got the same doors. You still got the same old guy greeting you. No,
hey man, up until recently, you were celebrating a championship from 100 years ago.
Oh my god, no. Hey bro, things change. No.
Spring training. No.
Aw man, you want to go to Arizona? No.
Fucking for spring training.
I'm down.
Yeah, so I guess that's our topic of the day today. We're talking about the new Cubs network, which got announced on the day of recording. Got announced today. We're recording on the 13th.
Yeah,
and so they came out and said, "Hey, we're gonna be on a exclusive network, the Cubs network, I guess, for lack of a better term." And
which I have some questions on that.
Yeah, so I guess specifically, how excited are you about this deal that they've signed that's set to start in 2020 with Marquee Sports Network?
Yeah, so from what I know, the name Marquee Sports Network originated from obviously their marquee, which is the big red sign in front of the stadium, and it's super like famous. I'm super excited for it. I think it's dope that they're gonna give us not only like coverage of the game, but they're gonna do like exclusive content and like behind the scenes type of stuff, you know?
Right.
Which I'm super excited for, and it's like a year-round thing, like Cubs 24/7. Like, so funny story. My brothers and I, we still watch like shit on YouTube, and like we have the World Series on Blu-ray.
Oh shit! Yeah.
We'll watch like Game 7 or like Game 5, you know, and it's like, damn, I remember when this happened. So
that one guy, what was his name? The pitcher that they would bring out like in the last two innings.
Oh my god, yeah, you're talking about the guy from the Yankees. Wow, why'd you
all he threw was fastballs?
That's all he threw. Like that shit was 99.
But like he just kept throwing it faster and faster, so they couldn't hit it.
Yeah, dude.
What was his name?
Fuck, I'm horrible with names. You guys, okay? If you've been watching the show, you know that me and names are like
fucking oil and vinegar.
Yeah,
they just don't mix.
Yeah. Oil and vinegar. Yeah.
That
sounds wrong, though.
I think it's right.
Oil and water, maybe.
It's so wrong that it's right.
Ooh.
No.
So, yeah, man, I'm super excited, especially with all the extra content. Like, I wonder what they're going to do, you know? And it kind of gives them exclusiveness, I guess, if that's the right term.
Because I know a big thing that I saw about this deal was, that's a lot of revenue that they're going to be generating for themselves because, it's their network.
Yeah.
So moving forward, that's going to provide them with a lot more money to sign free agents.
Ooh, yeah, for sure.
So they're going to have more spending money to sign bigger agents and, keep the team at a high level.
Yeah. Well, the thing I'm excited for is the more money means better, gifts for the first 10,000 fans that go to the game. No, it's
so you just want free shit,
bro. I'm tired of bobbleheads. Like, give me something good. No.
Wow, give me something I don't have already.
Yeah, but no, you're right, man. That means it generates more revenue, and like obviously the team's gonna become more rich, I guess, in a sense.
Yeah, more money in the franchise.
Yeah, but that's dope. But the one thing I was concerned about, and I don't know how you feel about this. You know how networks are starting to like pop off. Like you have the UFC Fight Pass, you have the WWE network.
Right.
Do you think it's gonna be like that, where like you have to pay that monthly subscription, and then
yeah, that's actually that was the first thing I thought of when I heard about it this morning on the radio. Was I was worried, honestly, more than anything, because if the Cubs can go off, make their own network, and say, hey, all of our games are going to be on this network, so if you want to watch our games, you have to have this network.
Right.
That's essentially, you have to pay to see our shit.
Where you could have just tuned into Channel 9 and watched that shit for free. Yeah.
And so my thought process immediately was saying, well, what's to stop, the White Sox from doing that? What's to stop the fucking Brewers from doing that? The Red Sox from doing it? So what if that opens the door for every fucking team in the league to have their own network?
So that kind of fucks up the TV networks now, like
MLB
Network,
ESPN, so
TBS.
normal networks might get screwed out of content because now all of a sudden they can't play the games.
Right.
And
like WGN.
Yeah, and even for like the viewer, like if you were a fan of like the Cubs and the Red Sox, for example, and you wanted to watch both of their games instead of like tuning into like ESPN or whatever, you would have to pay for the Cubs service, and you would have to pay for the Red Sox service. Yeah. So you'd have to pay two separate accounts to watch the games for the teams that you want to watch. Yeah,
that could cause concern, man. I think they're gonna find a way though where it's not so
segregated.
Segregated, yeah. I was gonna say exclusive, but it has to be exclusive, but like segregated, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing that stood out to me because the Marquee Sports Network. Mm-hmm. They're making it's supposed to be a regional, so I imagine all of Illinois, Ohio, Indiana,
the Midwest,
all the states around us, and they're actually contemplating having a price at about $6 per month.
Oh, bro, that's nothing. No, that's cheaper than a beer at Wrigley.
No, but see, that's the thing though. Like, if you have to pay $6 to watch the Cubs, and then say you have to pay $6 to watch the Red Sox, $6 to watch the Yankees.
Oh yeah. It adds up, yeah.
Yeah, and then what does that mean for people playing against the Cubs? So, like, what if you're a Boston fan, right?
Right.
And they're having a series against the Cubs, but you can't watch that game because the Cubs games can only be played on the Cubs network.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So, if you want to watch your team play, does that mean you're going to have to pay for the Cubs network?
No, I think. See, now that's where it gets tricky because I think they obviously have some type of contract with these networks and these broadcasting stations, right? So I don't think they'll violate those terms where they're playing in Chicago, but if you live in New York, you can't watch the game. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think that's even legal if you think about it. Because at the end of the day, it's all MLB, right? Like MLB is the franchise, or like I don't think they can pool their games from like say a MLB network,
right,
or whatever contract MLB has with ESPN. You know what I'm saying? Like legally, I think the team still has to be aired on those networks,
right?
But at the same time, they could have their own personal network for all the like Cubs
all
fans.
The people in the region.
Like,
but then,
but
like,
that is a good point. Like that is kind of like exclusive rights to just that game.
And that's what concerns me, because like, what about people in Wisconsin who want to watch the Cubs game?
Fuck those people in Wisconsin. No,
but like that means they have to pay for this network because they're in the region.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're in Wisconsin and you're a Cubs fan, I mean, I already feel bad for you because I mean, come on. No.
I mean, you got a great team there. What the hell?
Nah. Oh yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, no, but still, like,
but I don't know, and that's just. Immediately when I heard about that, I took it to the extreme where I was like, all right, so what if I have to pay for a network to watch the Bulls games? I have to watch for a network to watch the fucking Lakers games. I have to pay for a network to watch the Timberwolves games.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like, the only person that gets fucked is the viewer.
The viewer, right.
Because now instead of just paying for cable or paying for ESPN or whatever, you have to pay for all these different networks. And like, yeah, maybe they're like $6 a piece, but if you're trying to watch 2, 3, 4 teams, that's like what, $24 right there.
That's a lot, yeah.
That you're paying just to watch content on one network or on one team. That's
a good way to put it. When I first heard of it, though, I didn't really go to that extreme. I was more so like, oh, dope. That means we get like exclusive content where, like, aside from the games,
I get to watch more Cub shit.
I get to watch more Cub shit, yeah. So I get to watch like interviews, or I get to watch like say like ESPN 30 for 30 type of thing.
Right.
Where like they'll go back and retrack Sammy Sosa's career or something like that, you know?
Okay.
Even where like they could go back and play like Marlins versus the Cubs in 2003 in that series, you know? Like, that's super dope. Where I don't have to like dig through all those YouTube videos to find it. I kind of have a place where I could go and watch it.
Just go watch it. Yeah.
And I mean, if you're a diehard Cubs fan, you enjoy those like old games, or like you enjoy Harry Carey's voice over the game while you're watching it. You know, like I think more so I would pay those $6 just for that.
Right.
So it's like that wouldn't be a problem if I get all that extra special, you know, stuff that comes with it. But then again, you're right. I hope they do something about that. The pulling of different teams and like.
Right, because I mean that's, and the reason why my mind went to that was because of things like Netflix and Hulu. How, you know, when they first started, they were like, yeah, you can watch shit from Fox, you can watch CBS, you can watch TNT, you can watch all these networks on our
NBC,
on our
The Office.
Yeah, and now more and more, you know, Netflix and Hulu, they're relying on first-party content. Like, they're making their own shows, their own movies. They're doing all their own stuff because that way people can't take it away from them.
Well, yeah, because then they own all the rights to it.
Right, because now more and more TV channels, they have their own service. Like TBS has its own service, and it's bundled, you know, with like TNT and all the other companies that are owned under that same corporation.
Right.
Or like HBO, how it has HBO Now. Oh, yeah. HBO Go.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you want to watch HBO stuff, you have to pay for HBO Go. And, like, everything's just becoming more and more segregated.
Who did you tell me that owns the majority of television? Viacom?
Yeah, Viacom.
Yeah.
I remember because they own Nickelodeon.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But I guess that's my fear. That eventually we'll get to a point where everybody has their own streaming service.
Right.
And you're going to have to pick and choose what you really want to watch.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you know, I really want to watch Breaking Bad. So I have to pay for the AMC service.
Right.
But I also want to watch the Cubs game. So I want to pay for the Cubs service. And now I have to pay for the Bulls service because I want to watch Bulls games.
But that's where I don't agree, because if you have that special connection with some type of show or some type of like team, right, I think us as consumers will pay that like monthly thing, you know?
Yeah, like, and I guess that's my problem though, because I know people will pay it.
Like I know Nickelodeon has a streaming service where they play all 90s cartoons,
right?
And you know, just for the nostalgic like aspect of it, people will pay that $10 a month, you know?
Right.
So I think with sports is just a little bit different. I don't think you could categorize it like you would shows, because at the end of the day, like, you could go to Netflix or you could go to Hulu and like watch these shows. But there hasn't been like a hub where you could go and watch a game from like the 1990s, you know? I mean, I know a lot of people that will do this for the Bulls, even though they suck right now. They'll pay $5 to go back and watch the 90s run, you know? Like,
right, to watch the championships.
Yeah, and then I think it's a good idea. The Cubs are definitely like starting this trend
of not sucking.
Well, it's coming at a good time, because if they suck, no one's gonna pay for that shit.
Right.
You know? Like,
so they're capitalizing on it. They just have to, you know, not suck between now and 2020.
Yeah, let's hope. Nah. I mean, Jesus Christ. Nah.
How nervous did you get?
Bro, nah. I mean, last year it was stupid. Like, we were, first place, and then we get kicked out in the first round of the playoffs. Like,
oh yeah, well, that wasn't even the first round. It was the
card, wasn't it? It was a wild card to get into the playoffs.
Because what was it? What ended up happening? Them and the Brewers ended up with a tied record in the division, so they had to play each other to decide who gets first place.
It's like sudden death, yeah.
Bro, I remember when you were explaining that to me. I was like, wait. So if they win, they're first place in the division.
Mm-hmm.
But if they lose, they're out of the playoffs.
So it really didn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like either you win or you're fucked.
And they got fucked. Bro, I went to the mall like that weekend. All the 2018 like postseason hats, they were all on sale because like postseason just started and they can't sell them. Yeah, it was stupid.
Oh, bro.
But yeah,
that
man,
was a good time. I'm glad we were in Boston that day.
Yeah, for real.
I remember we were sitting at Fenway Park and like that dugout bar that they had, and we were watching the fucking the Cubs game.
Yeah, that was dope, man. That was like not knowing that the Red Sox were gonna win the World Series that year. You know, like we were there fucking watching the Cubs lose to Milwaukee.
Hey man, that pitcher doesn't fuck around.
Nah, he's stupid.
See, I would pay $6.99 a month to watch him pitch.
Wow. True. Nah. But yeah, man. Overall, I think this network is gonna be different. Obviously, Chicago is a real sports town.
Yeah, and it's a big market too.
And it's a big market, so
it's a good beta test.
So, like on paper, I think it'll work.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna work. Yeah. I'm just worried about what it's gonna do moving forward to just how we view TV and stuff
and channels. And actually, before we head out, I posted this on my Facebook today. I reposted when I heard the news. One of my buddies who actually is involved in baseball, some baseball camp down in Arizona.
Yep.
He commented and he was like, "Oh, dude, this is the end for WGN." Like, you know, because WGN is a small network that
they
rely on Cubs to get viewers. You know,
right?
So after the Cubs leave, like, what are they gonna do? Like,
I mean, they still have
Buffy the Vampire
Buffy the Vampire.
Yeah.
I mean, they still have the Blackhawks and the Bulls games, but
but it's like Stacey King's not gonna be there forever. No,
it's not. Especially given that it was the Cubs that did it, it's not too far-fetched to think that like the Bulls will be like, oh, you know what? Let's make our own network. Especially since the same owner of the Bulls and the White Sox.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh, well, if the Cubs did it.
If the Cubs could do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe they could group together. Well, I guess they have Comcast Sports Network.
Yeah.
Where they just play.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch.
It's going to be different, yeah.
Leave your comments in the comments.
Well, leave your comments in the comment box.
What are your thoughts on this? Are you excited that you get a network that's full of shit that you want to see specific to your team, or are you worried that now you're gonna have to pay for every fucking thing that you want to watch? Like where do you fall in?
Are you excited that the Cubs season's starting and you get to watch baseball again? I'm super excited, bro. April 8th cannot come fast enough. Like, home opener is gonna be dope as fuck. Like, it's gonna be cool.
See, but fast forward, they get first place in the division, but then they tie with Milwaukee, and Milwaukee just fucks them again.
It's a new year, man. That was the old Cubs. There's always next year. You know
shit. See, now you sound like a Cubs fan.
Thank you guys for tuning in to another mini-sode. This is TretoWithOutARadio, where the Cubs live on forever. Renee, what's up? Are we good?
We're good. We're good, man.
Are you gonna buy the Cubs network?
No, I know. Me personally, I'm not gonna buy it.
I'll give you my login, bro. It's cool.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. All right, cool. Tune in next week, guys. We'll come back with another mini-sode.